first week, maybe 2 weeks of the trip were really challenging.
Oh, it was so hard.
Because the kids didn't know how to live with just us being the parents only. Of course, we were going on a road trip, which is difficult.
And
but
living in a small space.
living in a
very
small
confined.
space, close together. There was no like you and me staying up till midnight or 1 a.m. like we were used to at home and sleeping in till noon.
While the kids watch TV.
Yeah, like that wasn't a thing on this trip. We were all on the same sleep schedule. We were always together. And
at first, that was very frustrating.
It was a growing process for the kids, but also for us.
Oh, it was so good for us.
But after those first couple weeks, I felt like everything was great.
It really was. Other than I was very homesick. I always get very homesick. I always want to be around the family. Like, it's really enjoyable for me to be around my family and just, I don't know what's going on in their lives, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I also was frustrated physically because I wanted to work out and it just wasn't working out for me to work out in that small space. And I didn't feel like I could go for a run. So that was a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't have hot water in the RV for the first couple weeks also. Maybe
Why
even
not?
the first half.
Is it just that we didn't have it turned on?
We didn't know how to turn it on.
Yeah. It's from
It was
93.
an old RV.
A little bit older.
But I think we just had no knowledge of RVs at all. So it was like,
no, we've never owned one.
we were like, how do we do this? We even, at one of the first stops, we went to our neighbor RV. And there's an old man and old lady. And we were like, do you know how to turn on a hot water heater?
I remember that. I forgot.
They're like, I don't know. I'm sorry. And we were just like, ah. But eventually, what ended up working is you went and got the propane. So it lasted. Our propane, we filled it up. Yep. Okay, so now I remember when we got hot water was halfway through the trip. Because I was about ready to go home. I was so sick of not having hot water.
Because you were washing dishes with cold water.
We couldn't use the shower. We couldn't use the bath because it was just freezing and the kids would scream. So it was literally shower to shower and bath to bath was going to each RV park. And some of those were creepy, like scary bathrooms or, like not very, Ryan would not approve.
There are some cities that literally don't have good RV parks.
Oh, yeah.
And then there are other cities that
every single one is amazing.
RV parks. Definitely.
San Francisco is the worst.
Well, there's not very many options. That was the reason why.
Horrible.
Like if you wanted to be close to the city and what's going on.
The very best one we found, it was bad.
We got ants at that RV
We got
park.
ants. In one day, they filled our RV with ants. It was bad. Anyways.
Filled. I mean, it wasn't like
all over the countertops, all over the inside of the kitchen.
They found their way in and they were eating.
Yeah, it was bad. Anyways.
But what happened? How did we get our hot water fixed?
Finally, Michael, once we ran out of propane, that lasted a whole month, by the way. It was really great.
Well, even in June, up in Washington.
It's freezing.
And the Oregon coast, it's pretty cold at night.
We had the heater on for a lot of that time.
Yeah.
Anyways, you got it refilled, and the guy flipped a switch. And it worked perfectly.
The water heater just wasn't receiving water and turning on and working.
And we were halfway through, and I was like, Amanda's about ready to have her baby. I wanted to be there for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was missing that huge.
So it was the beginning of July, and you wanted to go home to be there for Amanda's first baby.
I was like, I just want to go home. I'm so tired of this. There's no hot water. Amanda, I want to be there for her. Like, this is really hard living so close to everybody. Like, there were a lot of reasons why it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, the hot water heater switched on. And I had been saying a prayer, like, what should we do? Should we just go home? Should I talk to Michael about going home? The hot water heater came on, and then I was like, okay, that's a sign that we're supposed to stay, and it will be okay. Like, let's just finish this trip. Then make it to 2 months and be done and be able to have our finale and everything.